Hey everyone, so thank you for stopping by. Today we're going over advanced Spanish grammar, specifically the subjunctive, and even more specifically, non-existence with the subjunctive. So we're going to be pulling all of our examples from this book. Yes, I wrote it. Love the book. Please, if you find any of this material helpful, pick up a book today. It's going to be available in the link. It's available on Amazon. You can pick it up, and this workbook will help you work out all your kinks, everything you're learning and struggling with when it comes to getting from intermediate to advanced. So, the subjunctive is used in Spanish to talk about things that aren't necessarily real, like things that are subjective. Whereas the first couple of tenses you learn in Spanish are all about reality, things that are real. The subjunctive is like opinions, emotions, wishes, doubts. Those things are expressed with the subjunctive, a different mood in Spanish. So, once you get past understanding that, there are a few things that still trip us up when we're not sure if we need the subjunctive. One of those things is non-existence. So, before we dive right into non-existence with the subjunctive, I think it'd be a good idea to focus on how to identify a subjunctive sentence. Subjunctive sentences usually have a pretty predictable pattern. So it will have two subjects, and those two subjects will be separated by the word K in the middle. So, and a good example of a subjunctive sentence with two subjects would be, I hope that she wins the game. I hope, yo espero que ella gane el juego. Now, notice in the first part of the sentence, we have yo espero que. And in the, yo espero, perdón. After yo espero, we have que separating the first part of the sentence from the second part of the sentence. After that que, the first verb is in the subjunctive. Instead of gana, we have gane. And that person who we're hoping is winning is the second subject, ella. So, espero que ella gane el juego. That is a really fast and easy way to identify whether the sentence is going to be subjunctive or not. Does it have two subjects separated by the word que? And for bonus points, if you've studied Spanish before, you probably recognize that espero is a weirdo verb. Weirdo is an acronym that teaches us when to use the subjunctive. If we see that set up with two subjects separated by que, we can look at the first verb in the sentence and see if it's a weirdo verb. That will really sure up and confirm whether we need to use the subjunctive or not. Weirdo verbs are verbs we use to express the following ideas. So, wishes, emotions, impersonal expressions. Impersonal expressions is kind of tricky, so this will be one of the ones that I'm going to define right now. Impersonal expressions follow this format: a form of ser plus adjective plus que. So, for example, it's bueno that, es bueno que, es malo que, es horrible que, es interesante que. Anything except something indicating truth, like it's true that, it's clear that. Anything else, it's believable. Anything else, like it's great that. Those are impersonal expressions, and those fall under weirdo. The next thing is recommendations. That's easy. Doubts, I doubt that. And then ojalá, I hope that, God willing that. So espero falls under wishes, and which is the first letter of weirdo. So now that we've gone over weirdo and that sentence structure of first subject, que, second subject, or however the video is gonna flip this. So first subject, que, second subject. We can go into non-existence. Well, you might be asking yourself, Demetrius, what is non-existence? Why would this trigger the subjunctive? Well, anytime in English we say something along the lines of there aren't any, there's not, there's no one, there's nothing, anything like that that expresses that something does not exist is non-existence. And in Spanish, that triggers the use of the subjunctive. So, I'm going to break down the structure that you're going to see with this, and then we're going to refer back to the book for the examples from here. So, as stated before, we can say something like, there's no one, there's nothing, it doesn't exist, and that kind of illustrates non-existence in Spanish. So, what we're going to do is we're going to break down this sentence from the book. It's on page 117. There is no one that can answer that. There is no one that can answer that. Already we have the statement, there is no one. So we know that that is non-existence in the first part of the sentence. Now, there is no one that. All right? Let's translate up to that point in Spanish. No hay nadie que. Up to this point, everything remains indicative, normal. We're not changing anything. But after that que, in the second part of the sentence, the verb can, or poder in Spanish, is going to change from its indicative present to its subjunctive present. So from what we would normally say puede to pueda. So the whole sentence is no hay nadie que pueda responder eso. Now you might hear someone say no hay nadie que pueda responder a eso, or no hay nadie que pueda contestar a eso, no hay nadie que pueda. There's a bunch of variations, but we're going to focus on what we have in the book. What we have in the book is an example that says, there is no one that can. Now, remember when I said that there were at least two parts of the sentence separated by K if the sentence is subjunctive? If we look at this example closely, we see that we have our two parts. Now, the interesting part is that for non-existence, there's only a handful of phrases that indicate non-existence. So, no hay nada, no hay nada, no hay nadie, no existe. Those are normally the no existe. Those are normally the phrases in the first part of the sentence that lets us know, okay, if there's a K coming, the second part of that sentence is going to be subjunctive. And I know the camera's going to flip this and it's going to drive me up a wall because the way I'm saying it versus the way it's coming out isn't exactly how I like it, but let's just bear with me. So, no hay, this sentence is, no hay nadie que pueda responder a eso. We have the first part of the sentence, or the first part of the sentence negating negating existence, and the last part of the sentence finishing the idea. So that's really it for how to understand subjunctive sentences with non-existence. We just have something doesn't exist that, someone doesn't exist that, or something doesn't exist that, someone doesn't exist that, nothing exists that. Anything that says negative existence in the first part of the sentence followed by K, that second part of the sentence is just going to be in the subjunctive. And then that goes, like, I'll read the second example out of this book, it's more advanced. El policía no encontró nada en mi mochila que fuera ilegal. El policía no... Uy, say it, don't spray it, Demetrius. El policía no encontró nada en mi mochila que fuera ilegal. The cop didn't find anything in my backpack that was illegal. Instead of was being era as a description, it's fuera because it doesn't exist. He didn't find anything. No encontró nada. So there's more advanced examples in this book, and there's breakdowns and exercises so that you have to implement what you learn. There's also the answer key in the back of the book. I'm trying to keep this video under 15 minutes. Those do the best on YouTube. There's the answer key and glossaries and explanations, more in depth. But again, to recap, all we need to know is if the first part of the sentence before K indicates that something does not exist, then the second part of the sentence after that K is going to be in the subjunctive. That's it. That's an advanced Spanish grammar topic that's in the B1 Spanish Revival Notes workbook. And you can see it right there. Go ahead and pick yourself up a copy. I'm going to leave a link. I'm going to probably put a QR code. This book covers so many different topics. We're talking everything that's left out of your Spanish classes. So, pronoun placement, whether something needs an accent, how to do reported speech. That's covered in the first chapter. Your conditionals, how to say if-then statements. The passive voice, which is going to help you a lot when you see say everywhere. Because, like, we want to get past that intermediate stage, and I hate being on camera, so I'm doing this for you guys. I hate being on camera. I hate speaking on camera. I mess up in my first language, so I mess up even more in Spanish when I'm under pressure. But I promise you, I'm certified Spanish teacher. I'm certified fluent. This right here, doing these exercises, these were the types of exercises that got me to be the level that I'm at now, where I can speak fluently with anyone from anywhere. You want it? Get it, get it, get it. Thank you guys. I hope that this video helps you understand Spanish, and I hope you share it far and wide. All right, you guys have a wonderful day now.